You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
So, it's Sunday. Not Sunday right now, but Sunday. I'm out with my boys. Little social thing. Get some food after, and it starts snowing. I essentially get trapped about 10 minutes away from my home. The Uber, which normally cost maybe £10, was going to cost me £50. I eventually get home. It's an expensive trip home. I go home about half an hour before kickoff, so I'm like, you know what? I'll see wherever it takes me, and maybe when the Dolphins rout the Chargers, I can mention saying, "Yo, primetime podcast," because I am pumped. I am ready. Charlie, I got to halftime, and the Chargers touchdown before half. I was like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm going to sleep." And I tried to reverse psychology it, thinking, if I go to sleep, I'm going to wake up and the Dolphins are going to be winning. I'm like, I don't know, listen, I know what I'm doing right here. I know what I'm doing. Charlie, I woke up at 5 a.m., saw the score. I was like, nah, I'm going back to that. Miami Dolphins lose to the LA Chargers. Dolphins are currently 8-5. And it seems like we are back to Tua's not it. This team is trash. Same old Dolphins. Blow it up and start again. So, Charlie Touche, how are you?
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. I don't know where to start, Kadeem. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just sitting here and knowing that I got to do this podcast, and I'm like, you know what? You got to do it, bro. You're a professional. I'm going to be real with you, Kadeem. I think the word that I'm looking for might be inexplicable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have got to be kidding me. Feel me? I'm going to tell you why. Josh Allen had a window where he was just like, oh, he's not it right now. Josh Allen is playing very poor right now. A window, not a game. A window where he was just not playing good. And not even just not playing good. He was playing poorly. Who else we got in that window? Herbert. Herbert had a window. Boy, Herbert stinking up the joint right now, right? And you heard me say this on this podcast before. It's okay to have a bad game. It's all right to have a bad game. I'm not going to say it's okay to have a bad window. It's not okay to have a poor window of play. That is not what I'm saying. I will say this, though. I think we have to move on from either Tua is good or he's the worst. I don't think that's the neighborhood we need to live in. For some reason, that's all the national media has, and that's all the Twitter world has. He's either good or he's terrible. That's not the truth. Hold on. It's not the truth, because let Stephen A tell it. Oh, I told you when the good games came, whatever was going to happen. We'll see the real Tua. Let's be real. He did play Buffalo. He did play Baltimore. He did play the Patriots. We did go on a win streak, all the good stuff, right? Here's my thing though, Kadeem. When you stinking up the joint, you stinking up the joint, bruh. Like there's no reason for the quarterback play that we have seen the past couple weeks. And I'm not saying all of this is on Tua. By far, it's not all on Tua, but Tua has been playing poorly the past couple weeks. But I will stop short of saying he's not it. Dogs, Tua's still the dude. Josh Allen had an MVP year. Tua had an MVP year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, this is the worst time for you to play like you're playing right now, QB1. That's all I'm saying. It's the worst time for you to do this. The same way we went on a 7-game winning streak, Kadeem, and lost to the Titans, it was the worst time to have like a bad game right there. You know what I'm saying? So now that you have San Fran, Chargers, Buffalo, who everyone knew, Dolphin fans and non-Dolphin fans, everyone knew this was the worst hardest 3 games of the year. So for our quarterback to play the worst in this corridor, it's the worst timing. Same thing. Like, you had a 7-game winning streak, but it was the worst time in the world to play poorly when we had a win in your end type game against the Titans. So I think the timing of it is just could not be worse, and it is tough to swallow, bro.
I don't want to add. You said, Tua goes from like, or the narrative of Tua's good, Tua's not it. The narrative prior to that San Fran game was Tua's playing like an MVP. That's better than good. Mm-hmm. Like, and the whole thing with, I wake up and I see Twitter and there's people who were saying on social media, people who have said it as well. There's Dolphins fans that have gone out over that prior to San Fran saying Tua's MVP. Tua is him, Himothy, all that kind of stuff. And these same people are going, yeah, I told you Tua's bad. It's like, it's like that 8 wins Tua had before and after the injury just didn't happen. And I personally don't believe that Tua can go from leading the league in all of these stats to just being a total bust. Like, no player off the top of my head plays to that higher level to then be in a bust, to be in get rid of him at the end of the season. I don't understand that. But I totally agree that we knew going into this 3-game stretch, it was going to be tough, but we thought Tua, McDaniel, and the team can get through it. We're 0-2, and we're looking going, what has happened? And that rot, in my opinion, started when Teron Armstead went out against the Texans, and that second half, the Dolphins, even though Tua didn't play that second half, the Dolphins just haven't played football since that second half. And, we don't sit here beforehand on the phone saying, no, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. We're going to talk about all this kind of stuff. We kind of know what each person wants to talk about. I planned on coming into this episode going, let's get some things off our chest. First and foremost, thank you to every single subscriber on YouTube for letting us reach 1,000. I'm like, this is it. I'm happy. We've got the graphics ready, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk about how Tua in prime time beat Justin Herbert. 2-0. We had a 2-0 graphic against Justin Herbert. I'm like, this is it. I'm thinking playoffs, like, playoffs are done now. Like, parties are going to be a party. And instead, it's just like, how has this happened? Now, first and foremost, to every single person watching on YouTube, to every single person subscribed, thank you so much. When Charlie and I started this, when Charlie made me Mr. Irrelevant and picked me at the last pick of all that, Charlie was there going through his phone, trying to find someone to do a podcast with. I just happened to be there. My name's Kadeem, last name Simmons. I'm right at the bottom. We didn't think, we knew we were going to have fun, but 1,000 subscribers later, so thank you so much. But my word, Miami, man. Like,
hold on. You're not going to thank the subscribers and not let me not thank them. Like, I second what Kadeem just said. We reached 1,000 subs on YouTube We have support on Spotify and Apple Music and all these other platforms. And we just now reached 1,000 subs on YouTube. So it's the first 1,000 of many thousands to come. And we appreciate everybody who rock with us. Go ahead, Kadeem.
Why did Miami have to lay an egg on Sunday Night Football when it's just like
All right, let me help you out.
Yeah, all yours.
Shout out to Justin Herbert. Because Justin Herbert said, not today. Like, it won't be today where the internet clowns me. It's not happening today. Shout out to Justin Herbert. And it's crazy because so many times in that game, we had a chance to make Justin Herbert. 300 plus yards, passing, balls out, still takes the L. We had our chances. You know what I'm saying? We had our chance. 300 plus yards. Justin Herbert's the dude. He's cut from granite. He's a Greek god. Still lost by 1 point. We had our chance. Fumbled the ball inside the 10-yard line. Bro, we had our chance to do it. And he came out with a W. And for those of you, because I ain't gonna lie, I did like a little scroll on Twitter, like not even a whole scroll, like a little, let me go see like the first couple tweets. Boy, I hope y'all did not endure that, boy. Like, listen, it was some really good Dolphin slander on Twitter. I'm like, yo, this is this is A1 pure Dolphin slander on Twitter, and I had to get up off of it. Now, I want to address some people, though. This is for the Miami Dolphin fans who are so negative that they couldn't wait for us to be like, see, this is why I didn't believe the hype, and this is why I didn't want to, like, yo, you telling me you refuse to get excited for your team because you thought they were going to let you down for 2 games straight. All right, bro, we still got a lot of football left. And I am saying that this is on par for, shout out to our boys at the Same Old Dolphins. It is on par for Same Old Dolphins stuff. But the Dolphins are going to the playoffs. Make no mistake, we're going to the playoffs. We're getting to the dance, and we about to be a problem. Yes, we had aspirations to get the 1 seed. Yes, we had aspirations to win the division. Yes, we wanted Tua to get MVP. Yes, we wanted Coach McDaniel to get Coach of the Year. All that is true, and to be real with you, all of that was attainable. You got to win the games, though. And I sat here on this podcast and said, yo, we got 3 games coming up, and I don't care how they look. I don't care how we win them. We have got to win them. We have to win them. So when Tua started off 3 and whatever, 17, well, I don't even know what it was. 3 and something. It was 3. I like, yo, at this point, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I could get a little more completions than 3 completions than 17 attempts. Maybe I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm like, yo, it doesn't mean that I don't think the Dolphins are going to deliver when it's time to deliver. Yes, we lost. Yes, it's a bad L. It hurts worse because this is the part of the season where everybody said, I told you so. It hurts worse because it's Justin Herbert. It hurts worse because it's December football. It hurts. Yeah, for sure. But I got a stat for you. The Dolphins are 7-0 when scoring 20 points this season. 7-0 when scoring 20 points this season. That is an actual stat. I'll run through it. I have to find it. But at the same time, it's like, yo, we have to, like, Tyreek Hill not looking for the ball. Keep running. The ball's going to hit you in the shoulder pad. You know what I'm saying? That hurts us. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that Tua didn't have a bad game. 2 things could be true at the same time. Yo, the defense for the 2nd week in a row. And this is before everybody said, oh, they was on the field too long. They were too tired. Listen, for the 2nd week in a row, they have conceded a first half touchdown at halftime and let the other team double dip the chip. You can't do that, bro. Go ahead, Kadeem.
I was going to get to it at some point, but that's when I turned off because one, it was late. I was tired. I got work in the morning. But two, it's like 3rd and 15, and it's like the Chargers. The Chargers are a very aggressive team. They're probably going to go for it on 4th down. What you don't do is you don't rush free and leave everybody. Like I was like, yo, like I was like, big man, are you taking a mic? I was like, Josh, what are you doing?
Yo,
and you know what? Like we had a discussion where I was talking about who's on Austin Eckler, and you was like, what you don't do is you don't bring a safety in the box and allow the offensive lineman to just run ahead and basically have a convoy for Austin Eckler. So Josh Boyer went, you know what? Listen, I got the big brain. I can do this. He went, I'm going to rush free. I'm going to drop everyone back in coverage. I want us to get a stop. Not only did they nearly get the touchdown on that one play, picking up 15 yards, the Chargers had shown earlier in the game that they're going to go for it on 4th down. Yes, you got to stop, but we had a discussion. Yeah.
I told you on many episodes on Go Time Dolphins, go for it on 4th down against the Dolphins, bro. I said that. Yeah, I like your chances. Yes, the Dolphins have been pretty good on 4th and 1, making stops. Oh, defense showed up. But nah, bro. Go for it on 4th and short if you're the Dolphins, especially if you're a 6-6 AFC West team. Bro, when that Josh Boyer play happened, dog, and for everyone who doesn't know, this is right before halftime. Dolphins had 3rd and goal from like the 17. All you got to do is make this stop. You can concede 7 yards at that point. You know what I'm saying? No one's going to go for it on 4th and 10. They're going to kick the field goal. No, not Josh Boyer. And for Charlie Touche to not be on Twitter like that, my Twitter handle was @Charlie_Touche. Boy, I found Twitter at that moment. That was the nail in the Josh Boyer coffin, boy. For me, that was the nail in the coffin for Josh Boyer, Holmes. Like, ain't no way. You went 3rd and 15 plus, it felt like. And you let this team get all the way down to the 1-yard line. You played that like it was 3rd and 25, and they were on their 30. That's how you played that, bro.
And
no way.
And what's funny is that the first quarter, neither team scored a point. So that's a good quarter. Earlier in the day, Brock Purdy beat the Bucs and Tom Brady. And everyone's like, yo, maybe this Brock Purdy kid is pretty decent. And the Dolphins didn't lay an egg against the 49ers.
Hold on. See, it's too Mr. Irrelevance. Brock Purdy, Kadeem Simmons, like you showed up. You know what I'm saying? You were the last pick of the draft. And look how successful of a podcast you have. Like Brock Purdy, you know what I'm saying?
I'll take that. Drakey, do not put my face on Brock Purdy. Like, we don't need to do that. And then after halftime against the Chargers, the Dolphins concede 3 points in each quarter. So I'm still there going, like, is Josh Boyer bad or just stupid? And do you know the thing is, I'd rather him be bad, because if you're bad, I can allow that, but don't be stupid. Like, don't be stupid. And again, there'll be people there will say, the refs bailed out the Chargers. There was like early on, I think the Chargers opening drive, there was a 3rd and 10. Kadeko who gets done for DPI. There's a grab, is what it is.
That's illegal contact, Kadeem.
Oh yeah.
That's illegal contact. And I know where you're going with this, and I gotta stop you. That is illegal contact. That's a play you're supposed to call.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Kadeko, who did make up for it in other areas of the game, and like, yo, Kadeko, who you balling? You feel me? But you gave up that call. But the 3rd and what was it, 25? I took a note. It was like 3rd and 20, 3rd and 20, 3rd and 25. Chargers inside their like own 20-yard line. Jalen Phillips, who had a day. Shout out to Jason Keck. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, shout out to Jason Keck. Like, Jalen Phillips said, Jason Keck ain't going to rap about me on Go Time Dolphins social media comments. You know what I'm saying? And showed up for the team. Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins, bro, we had a day. Jalen Phillips gets hit with a roughing the passer on Justin Herbert, Kadeem, and it was not roughing the passer. He braced both of his hands, did not put his body weight on the quarterback, and it was the phantom 2002 Miami Hurricanes versus Ohio State call. Kadeem, do you know that Justin Herbert was like on the sideline when that flag came out? Bro, he was already on the sideline, like rubbing his shoulder, like, oh, we got a penalty.
He got hit and was just like, yeah, cool, fair enough, good sack, well done, walked off. Everyone was like, well done. And Jalen Phillips tweeted like, I'm gonna have to pay this fine, but you have to get to a point where you can challenge these roughing the passer calls, because that's not. And it's funny, we had a friend of the podcast, William Hayes, on there a couple of weeks ago, speaking about how he had to relearn how to tackle quarterbacks, because like he got injured and never played again, sacking Derek Carr, trying to protect Derek Carr, and got himself hurt. Like, and like that one play didn't, mean the Dolphins lost. Like, the Dolphins lost because they, in my opinion, they can't, or the last two games, especially against the Chargers, they can't adjust when things aren't going their way. So again, Josh Boyer with that stupid third down call, dude, hold this L. That's on you. On the other side of the ball, and like, we're both Mike McDaniel guys, dude, run the ball and stop throwing deep so often. Like, there's so many times where, like, you can see from different camera angles, Tua dropping back, and everyone's gone, and underneath is wide open. And actually, you know what? I watched a Dudley Do Wrong video earlier, and he spoke about how,
shout out Dudley Do Wrong,
100%. Happy birthday to his daughter. Turned 2 on Sunday. He spoke about how the Chargers adapted when the Dolphins, and again, actually further proof that Josh Boyer is just stupid, or maybe whatever it is, dude, stop. The Dolphins in this cover zero blitz, cool. You know what you're gonna get. Cool, cover zero blitz is what it is. But it was like 3rd and 5. Dolphins are called in cover zero, and the DBs were like 10 yards, 15 yards off. So Justin Herbert was like, well, I'll take that underneath over and over again, first down. And they didn't adapt to that. So again, same way the Dolphins didn't adapt to that, Mike McDaniel is calling out these clear out, or these, like, deep plays, progression, stuff like that. But no one's underneath.
No one's open either.
And that's true. But it's also like, all it takes is a running back to come out of the backfield and be underneath. And the Chargers are going to be so scared of Waddle and Hill going downfield. It's open underneath. And it's why Tua was like 10 for 25 from like 145 yards and a touchdown. It's start calling some screens, start calling some underneath plays. It's the Dolphins have become so predictable over the last few weeks, and it needs to be fixed, and it needs to be fixed on Monday. Like, it's beyond a joke now.
Short week, we got Buffalo, boy. We got to go to Buffalo on a short week this Saturday. Flexing, boy, I don't even want to flex right now.
In the snow as well.
Listen, you know what? I am kind of happy that. No, I'm not happy. I do like the fact that these bad games happened before it got cold, because I didn't want to hear, oh, I told you Tua can't throw in the cold. Like, nah, it's a bad game. It's a bad game. It's a bad game. But if the passing game, Kadeem, was a person, and the run game was a person, you know what the passing game would say to the run game?
Where are you?
Help me. You feel me? And the same thing with the defense to the offense last game. Like, if the defense was a person and the offense was a person, the defense would be like, yo, help me. Kevin Hart voice. Help me. Like, bro, there's no way you go from the number 1 ranked quarterback in the NFL in the zone against zone, and then you go from and the number 1 ranked quarterback in the NFL against man, have all these first in every stat except for yards and except for touchdowns, because you missed 2.5 games, 2 and 3/4 games, and then you play like this. So again, I understand. Yeah, quarterbacks. Josh Allen came out of funk. You know what I'm saying? but this is the funkiest funks of funks, bro. Like, this is not cool. You know what I'm saying? So now we have to bite our mouthpiece and go to Buffalo and find a way, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta find this. Hold on. X hit me. And Xavier Howard, by the way, I am never gonna call this man. I am never gonna call this man X on this podcast ever again. I have a cousin named X, and I love dog, and it is disrespect to put X and Xavier Howard in the same, like, nah, bro. Xavier Howard ain't it. He not it, bro. Every single game, the man is trailing and getting beat, bro. I told y'all boys that the man is a playmaker. He is not a cover corner, and we paid him too much bread. So, yeah, I feel you. Xavier Howard's the playmaker. He is not a cover corner, bro. Always in a trailing position every time I look up. But shout out to X for sending me this text. I didn't try to rhyme. I got a text from y'all know X came on the show, and he said, this was 10 o'clock last night. He said, I'm trying not to freak out, bro. Calm me down, please. You know what I said?
Freak out.
Nah, bro. Freak out. Bing! This ain't good. Bing! Like, nah, bro. Do your thing, bro. Freak out, Holmes, because we tripping right now, bro. Like, freak out. Straight up.
You know what's interesting about the Xavier Howard stuff? And again, shout out to a friend of the podcast, William Hayes. Hayes said, can I call him Hayes? Am I okay to call him Hayes?
Yeah, Hayes.
Hayes said that Xavier Howard, even when, like, you know, like as a rookie and Hayes was there, it's a confidence thing. And to me, I'm looking like he's just not confident. Now, I can understand you're not confident when Mike Williams hangs these nuts on your chin and goes, dude, hold this. Like, like I was like, yo, that was a disrespectful grab. I can't even say shout out to Byron Jones because his season's done. Mike McDaniel's confirmed on Monday it would be a bonus if we see Byron Jones this season. And I'm there just going, you could have told us this like 8 weeks ago.
Hold on. In his defense, I don't think it was done 8 weeks ago. And
yeah.
And another thing is, shout out to everyone who said we don't need Byron Jones. How y'all feel about that right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo. I just read a text from Sherrod Steve. Just read it on just now while we were on the air. And it's a GIF. And it's the funniest GIF. And he says, completely off the Kool-Aid now. And the withdrawals are bad.
So, to anyone completely off the Kool-Aid and the withdrawals are bad, I believe there's a tweet from I think it's Joe Shad, who said, the Dolphins can lose to Buffalo, but beat Green Bay, the Jets, and the Patriots and make the playoffs. And I think the Dolphins can also lose to Buffalo, lose to Green Bay, but beat the Jets, beat the Patriots, and they'll make the playoffs. Listen, I'm not trying to hear that last one. And you said earlier, we're making the playoffs. The Dolphins, Mike McDaniel is too much of an offensive genius to not figure this out. I think what we're seeing is someone who, and especially it just like digging in his heels and going, like, again, you've seen the Simpsons episode where I believe it's Bart and Homer are chasing like the pig, and Bart's going, it's still good. Like I believe Mike McDaniel's still going, like, it's still good. Like, we can hit these deep throws again. The two were touchdown on that deep throw. It's just like, yo, it's this easy.
That's another thing, bro. There's a lot of empty sets, like thinking like we solid up front. I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, y'all throwing these empty sets out there like we straight. We not straight, bro. We're not good. Our O-line is not. Oh, our O-line is fixed. Shout out to LB and shout out to Sherrod Steve for, the O-line is good enough. It's not good enough, bro. The O-line is not, quote unquote, good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want the O-line where it's like, it would be greedy of me to ask for Jalen Hurts O-line. You know what I'm saying? But still, I want an O-line where I don't have to worry about my quarterback getting pressured and hit all the time. Anyway, you can't dial up all these empty sets, bro. Y'all acting, bro. So I was saying,
I wouldn't mind the empty sets if you just, not even disguise, if you run some underneath routes. Stop just clearing everyone out. Like, that's what makes no sense. I think there's one empty set and a pass to Cedric Wilson. But again, it's like a 10, 15-yard dig. It's like, dude, stop doing that. Like, you get to a situation where it's like 3rd and 10 because your two empty sets on 1st and 2nd down got you no yards. So now it's 3rd and 10 and you have to throw 15 yards. If you had run the ball on 1st and 2nd down and gained some yards, like it's sorry.
The Dolphins are going to the playoffs. I'm not tripping on that. Like, listen, the Dolphins are going to the playoffs. And what I hate is the Dolphins peak too soon, people. There's no such thing as peaking too soon. You play good or you don't play good. You play good to win the game. You play to win the game. Shout out to Coach Edwards. I'm tripping. I almost blew that. Like, anyway, you play to win the game. Herm Edwards. Ain't no peaking too early, bro. You don't, hey, we're peaking too fast, fellas. Let's lose a couple games early so we could win a couple games late. No, you play to win the game. There's no such thing as peaking too soon. I hate when people say that, all right? So that's stupidity. All that being said, the Dolphins are going to the playoffs. I'm not tripping. We're going to get it done. Are we playing poorly right now? Absolutely. Now, I like to attribute it to the bye. I'm like, yo, we was money before the bye. Bye came up, and it messed up the rotation. Like, dang, this is not good for us to come out of the bye looking the way we're looking. But how about this? I said the Dolphins are 7-0 in games that they scored 20 points this season. And we're going to go back to the Patriots game. Week 1, and I'm going to run down the record and the score. Week 1, we played the Patriots. We won 20-7. Put up 20 points, Dolphins are winning. 42-38 against the Ravens. 21-19 against the Bills. 15. 27 to the Bengals. 17. 40 to the Jets. 16. 24 to the Vikings. 16-10 against the Steelers. 31 against Detroit. Beat them. Just score 20, you're going to win. 35-32 against the Bears. 39-17 against the Browns. 30-15 against the Texans. Then 17 to San Fran and 17 to the Chargers. Get the 20 points, you're going to win the game. Bro, for the first time this season, my pick of the week did not hit with Tua in. Like, my dog did not even come close to getting 2 touchdowns, breaking over the 1.5. I hope y'all cashed out on some pretty good money for us. Shout out to Tua for getting us in the green. How about this, bro? It's so bad, Kadeem, that we had to be hopeful for a Tyreek Hill fumble touchdown. Like, we had to hope, yo, please score, bro, because we're not getting in the box. That's how bad it was, bro. Tyreek Hill had to score a touchdown on a fumble for like 50 yards. That's wild to me, Kadeem.
And I thought, you know what, that was going to be the break, which the Dolphins needed. Guys, like, okay, it's all good now. We're down 3. We can, like, we've settled our nerves. It's all good. Let's go. And I'm there. And again, like I said, I got to halftime and I was like, no, I'm done. And it's, shout out to the London fans or the European fans who stayed awake for the full game. I do it sometimes, other times I don't. And it doesn't make me a bad fan for going to sleep at 3 a.m. because my team is thinking up the joint. But it's also one of those things where it's a momentum thing. If the Dolphins are playing well, I'm staying up because I'm awake. I'm enjoying it. I'm pumped. Listen, the Tyreek Hill touchdown on the fumble was a lot of fun. Did Teron Armstead poke it out on purpose? Who knows? Like, definitely shout out to Tyreek Hill for being alert enough to take that to the house. It does kind of feel like our offense at the moment is throw the ball to Tyreek Hill and see what happens. I believe that's now 2 weeks in a row that Mike Gesicki has had 0 catches. And again, it's call up some plays where, Gesicki runs a slant or a drag and pick up 3-4 yards. Like, not every single pass needs to be a 30-yard completion. Sometimes take a single one, like to use a baseball term, take the singles and doubles. And again, like, please run the ball. Like, the Chargers are one of the worst run defense in the league, and they were missing Sebastian Joseph Day, Joey Bosa, Derwin James, Bryce Callahan, and I think we had like one run of 20 yards, and it was like, okay, we got it. Now we're going to go back to passing the ball.
You know what? That's another thing. Wasn't the Texans a worse run defense, and then we didn't run that well on them, and then now the Chargers are a bad run defense, didn't run well on them. The Bengals were last in like sacks allowed, and then we only got 1 sack on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, how come when we go against these teams that are deficient in the area, we don't exploit that? You know what I'm saying? Justin Herbert, by the way, came in on Sunday with the least amount of yards per attempt at quarterback this season. So when everybody was on tour for, he only throws 7.9 yards an attempt, and like the most was like 8.9. Like, y'all tripping right now. But you know what I'm saying? Justin Herbert was last, 32nd in the league in yards per attempt. Came in and torched us. Again, shout out to Justin Herbert for saying not today. That is crazy, dog. That I have to live with this. And another quarterback I just remember that was just had a bad window. Like, boy, you're stinking up the joint right now. Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, so it's not, you don't have to be, Tua, yeah, you're right. Tua's not it. Like, bro, you can have bad games and be like, yeah, he's still balling, but he ain't been balling the past couple of games. It happens. I'm not gonna throw. I don't know why people say throw the baby with the bathwater. Why do they say that?
No idea.
You ever heard that name?
Yeah.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
That's just
hey, I was riding with my dog today, and he said we didn't put the nail in the head of the coffin. We didn't put the nail in the head of the coffin. And I thought about you, bro. I like Kadeem will switch up a quote real quick. We didn't put the nail in the head of the coffin. I'm like,
I know, but no. I normally put two together. I'm like two different quotes and mash them together. Like, I don't normally get them.
Two. That's two of them. That's you hit the nail on the head, and then you put the nail in the coffin, and you put them both together. We didn't put the nail in the head of the coffin.
I won't steal that. I definitely won't steal that.
That's got you all over it, bro.
Yeah, but like, I didn't come up with it, so I ain't gonna steal it.
We didn't put the nail in the head of the coffin.
Shout out to DC Kai 305. Messaged me during the game saying, what more do we need to see from Christian Wilkins? Like, I know we can't pay everyone. I understand that. I don't understand it. Or I can't see a situation where we don't re-sign Christian Wilkins. And we mentioned someone earlier who got paid and didn't, live up to that contract. I don't think that'll be a Christian Wilkins situation. I think Wilkins isn't a playmaker. He's just a stud at his position. I think, if he keeps on playing like this, it becomes more and more like you have to keep him. So shout out to Christian Wilkins, I'll say one of the few. Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer, Jalen Phillips were just immense on Sunday, and not to be cliche, but they didn't deserve to be on the losing side.
So before we go on to bonus time, what does all this mean for the Dolphins, Kadeem? Does it mean do we have an issue? Like, what's the problem? What is all of it? Like, sum it up for us. What does this mean?
My genuine opinion, and I'm not being a Dolphins homer, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, I'm not got my Dolphins tinted, glasses on. I said it after the San Fran game, and I'll say it now. These are fixable problems. The issue is going to be is if Mike McDaniel doesn't self-reflect and fix these issues. And Josh Boyer as well. But, some simple fixes. Run the ball more. Listen, not every single run is going to be for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yards. But if you show a willingness and a determination to run the ball, defenses have to at least respect it, at least. And then you can do so much stuff off running the ball. Second of all, throw some shallow passes. Like Tua doesn't lead the league in yak catches or yak passes. That doesn't mean you can't throw them every once in a while.
Straight up. Just because we're not a yak team, because you found out you actually have a quarterback, don't mean we can't dumb it down a little bit to become that, to get back into some of these games.
Yeah, that as well. I understand when you've got a Tyreek Hill who can just do whatever he wants, you're going to pass the ball to him a lot. Again, Mike McDaniel, you are an offensive genius. Scheme guys open. Let's get Mike Gesicki, Trent Sherfield, the other receivers on this team. 3, 4, 5, not just, okay, I can't say receptions because depending on how the defenses play it, but let's target these guys multiple times. Because in that way, you get into a situation or you don't get a situation like with San Fran, where it's 4th down and you throw to Mike Gesicki, who's done nothing all game. It's one of those things where, we've both played sport. When you warm up, I don't know if you have it in the States, but get some early touches. Touch the ball so you're warm. Let's get some early touches in the first 2, 3, 4 drives, so that if you need to go to Mike Gesicki on a key 4th down in the 4th quarter, he's got 6 receptions on 10 targets for 30 yards. It is getting ridiculous. And then to the defense and Josh Boyer, big man, don't be so stupid. You are the cover 0 blitz and the looks you're showing in the nicest possible way does not work without Nick Needham, Byron Jones, and Fender Postcard Brandon Jones. It doesn't work. What you can do, what was you say?
Oh, I was going to say Javon Holland, but you name the people who are not playing.
Yeah. But what you can do, if you are going to run a all-out blitz on 3rd down, don't have the DBs play off coverage by 10, 15 yards, because you're not playing, me, and I can't throw the ball more than 2 yards. I genuinely believe we are in a territory where Josh Boyer is in that saving your job window. Even if he balls out, he probably should. I'm not advocating for someone to lose their job, because that's a horrible, horrible thing to say. But big man, listen, just fix up, okay? Fix up, and let's not be in a situation where.
Hey, shout out to the journalist to put it so eloquently. Just fix it.
No. Again, not fix it. Fix up. There's a difference. You know what? Matt McDaniel, angry voice on the sideline. Get it effing fixed. Seriously. So yeah, that's me done, man.
Kadeem. Sherrod Steve said he's off the Kool-Aid and he's going through withdrawals pretty bad. When I was on the Kool-Aid, Kadeem, I'm still on the Kool-Aid, bro. Not only was I drinking the Kool-Aid, I had 2 cups. I'm like, I just want both of my cups of Kool-Aid because I don't want some other people to come drink it all up. I had to have 2 cups of Kool-Aid, and I'm just drinking, and 2 are for MVP, and Mike McDaniel for Coach of the Year, 1 seed, boy, division. I'm drinking it up. You feel me? And then at some point, someone dropped roofies or something, some date rape drug in one of these drinks. someone put something in my.
You should laugh at that context and scenario.
Someone put something in my drink, Kadeem. That's not cool, bro. And now I'm living in this situation, bro, where the Kool-Aid's not. It's been compromised. The Kool-Aid's compromised. You feel me?
No, it is. Wrestling term. Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's got his 2 beers. He's there, plugging it. And then someone came and gave him a Stone Cold Stunner, and the beer came out no one Stone Cold with a truck give a beer to Vince McMahon, and Vince and then Stone Cold Stunner, beer in the air. That's what's happened. The beer's in the air, but there's still some beer in the can. this isn't a beer can. I have no beer cans. I'll use a bottle. There's still some beer in the. Why have no can on my desk? But there's still some beer left. We can get up off the floor, a bit dazed, a bit wounded, but we can go back to drinking. Guys, we can do this. Don't put down the Kool-Aid just yet. There are going to be ups and downs during the season.
I'm still drinking my Kool-Aid. Compromise and all. I ain't gonna lie. It is what it is, bro. You only live once. Listen, man. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
When it's your time, and it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time.
Holy crap, bruh. Like, you cannot be serious, Kadeem. Justin Herbert against the Chargers, you couldn't do this like against the Bills. You know what I'm saying?
No, it is. You ever have those friends that say like having a back and forth, I'm better at the game than you, no, I'm better, stuff like that. And then they come around your house and you're just like, you're not coming to my house and beat me at my game. I'm not. That is what Justin Herbert said. Justin Herbert said, you are not coming to my home on Sunday Night Football and embarrassing me in front of my friends and family, in front of the national media. You're not doing it. And, you know, like Tua just chose the worst time to have that kind of performance. Like just be respectable in defeat. Don't lose. But if you're going to lose, have it like, you know what? Both those guys balled out. Like, you know when you get them like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes games, that's like no one deserves to lose. Both quarterbacks were it, and you know what? It's going to be a great game for the next decade. Have that conversation coming out of it. Don't have it so everyone goes, told you so. 32 GM will pick Justin Herbert over Tua. And it's like, oh, shut up, man. And then we're going to be social media with the whole.
But I ain't gonna lie, bro. It was some real good Dolphin slant. I'm not even gonna lie. When I say I had to look, I seen about 10, maybe 8 tweets, and they were all epic. I'm like, oh, this is good. I like, yo, hats off to y'all. Y'all won this time. The battle continues, the debate continues, whatever. But the point is, Kadeem, you can't take it away that Tua was an MVP conversation. He was in the MVP conversation. He didn't lose a game until week 13. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is real, bro. The man put up numbers. He's legit. It's just funny now. Oh, he's not legit no more? Stop it. I'm not doing that. So, yeah, he had a couple bad games, man. It hurt like heck, bro. I'm still delusional off of whatever someone hit me with. But it's unfortunate, man. But we got to find a way. Good teams find a way. And I got money, literally, on us making the playoffs. I got money on it already. I already put my money where my mouth is. I don't have to put no more money on it. So I got money on the Dolphins making the playoffs. Tua's going to figure it out. He's going to say, nah, I'm not going out like that. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get it fixed, man. Buffalo on a short week.
Listen, I doubted the Dolphins before the season started. I booked a 2-week cruise during the playoffs, thinking the Dolphins aren't playing playoff football this year. Make me eat my words. Make me on that cruise with a small iPhone trying to watch the game with bad signal. Don't prove me right. Like, don't do it. Buffalo on a short week. Like, find a way to win. Like, big man, like, please, I beg you, find a way to win. Because again, you beat Buffalo, and all of a sudden you're 9-5. Like 9-5 again. Losing back-to-back games in the manner of those defeats, brutal, awful. The Dolphins are 8-5. That's where most Dolphins fans, in my opinion, thought we would be at this point. Like, especially, and again, because you go through the record. Maybe we beat San Fran but lose to the Chargers, or we lose to people expected the Dolphins to be roughly around 8-5, and the Dolphins got to 8-5, and everyone goes, "Told you we're bad." It's like, are you stupid? So listen, Buffalo's short week. The great thing about Dolphins fans is that when we're talking trash all week, we're gonna talk ourselves into beating Buffalo.
No. I'm not talking myself into beating Buffalo. But we're not previewing the show. But I ain't doing that. And we're going to the playoffs. However, I will not doubt Mike McDaniel or Tua. So I like our chances, bro. Like, what better way, Kadeem, than to bounce back against a team you're not supposed to beat? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? Y'all were right. He just had two bad games, and he did it against. Oh, I told you he was gonna go 0-3 in this window, but he didn't. He went 2-0. He went 1-2. You know what I'm saying? Against the best team in the league, the 1 seed in the AFC, we could knock them off real quick and make some people mad. I like that idea. How about that?